who could be getting the boot.
And notable members of the media visited campus today. I'll tell you what they had to say about Ball State's annual Sunshine Week.
Snow, cooler temperatures in March? Yeah, that's a little hard to believe, but will it be warmer? I'll have the details coming up in NewsLink, Indiana, starting right now.
Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink, Indiana, in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink, Indiana. I'm Alex Kelmer.
And I'm Val Jones. Thanks for joining us. Ball State's annual Sunshine Week, an event that gives students a chance to learn from media professionals, was tonight.
NewsLink's Bree Isom was at the event tonight and is live in the newsroom. Bree, what can you tell us?
Hi guys, Ball State hosted its 13th annual Sunshine Week. Tonight at the year's topic was accountability journalism in the age of Trump. 3 reporters spoke at the panel about their views towards this election year and trials they have faced with President Trump's view on the media. One of the panelists was Steve Bell, a former TCOM professor here at Ball State. He shared his thoughts on what today's media needs to do about the media.
That the press corps has to be very careful about the image it projects to the U.S. public.
The panel also featured RTV6 Rafael Sanchez and Asma Khalid, a reporter for NPR. Live in the newsroom, Bree Isom, back to you at the desk.
Thank you very much, Bree. And Val, visiting campus this weekend is Indiana Senator Joe Donnelly.
That's right, Alex. He will be holding a town hall at Emmons Auditorium on Sunday.
The town hall is free and open to the public and will be held from 1:30 to 2:30, with the doors opening at 12:30. Donnelly's town hall comes after several members of Congress have been met with widespread anger during their return to their home districts.
Donnelly says he wants to update Hoosiers on his work and answer any questions they have.
Governor Eric Holcomb has joined in the fight to keep part of the Affordable Care Act. More and more Republicans have started asking Congress to spare funding for Medicaid as they repeal the act. According to the Indy Star, Holcomb said about repealing, quote, "The devil is always in the details." Holcomb's comments come a day after analysts project that the proposed health care bill would cover 14 million fewer people next year. Under Governor Mike Pence, more than 400,000 people have health care after Medicaid was expanded in the state. 90% of Indiana's Medicaid funding comes from the federal government.
The Senate voted 55 to 43 on Monday to approve Seema Verma, President Donald Trump's nominee for Administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Verma's confirmation comes as congressional Republicans advance their efforts this week to repeal and replace Obamacare. The health care bill making its way through the House currently plans to eliminate Medicaid expansion after 2020. Verma has been working on health care policy for more than a decade.
Vice President Mike Pence spoke out about claims of a Pence takeover in a pair of tweets from WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Pence described the claims as, quote, absurd and frankly offensive. Assange claims in a pair of tweets that Hillary Clinton is pushing for a Pence takeover in the White House. He also claimed that 2 intelligence officials are planning that takeover. Pence spoke today to radio host Laura Ingraham. He assured that the claims are false and that he stood proudly next to President Trump.
The winner of last month's $435.3 million Hoosier Lottery Powerball drawing is choosing to stay anonymous.
Jennifer Diswanner, a representative of the Powerball winner, said that the winner wishes to not reveal their name.
According to USA Today, the winner is a resident of Lafayette. Indiana law does allow winners to claim their prize by a limited liability corporation or legal trust in order to stay anonymous. Diswanner said the winner is a Purdue grad and works at Lafayette manufacturing plant.
The winner will walk away with a total of $189 million after deductions. And while one Purdue grad has been very lucky, we, on the other hand, have not been as lucky as far as weather goes.
No, definitely not. We saw a mix of blizzards and a little bit of sunshine today. So, Ethan, what can you tell us about the weather?
Well, it is March, and the conditions that we've been seeing are absolutely not normal for March at all. Cooler temperatures, snow, that's unlike this. And you can see this here. A few snow showers throughout Muncie and a very good band of lake effect snow happening just off the shores of Chicago and in northwest Indiana. Those will continue on into tonight, but things are going to be changing. But for right now, let's take it outside to Chelsea Smith to see what's going on live.
Good evening, we're live here in Muncie and it is very cold outside. Temperatures are starting to make its way down to the teens, so you will want to make sure you are bundled up before heading outside tonight. The skies are clear right now, but we're going to continue seeing that off and on snow throughout the night with the occasional burst of snow that's going to be reducing the visibility, so please be cautious while you are driving this evening. We're not expecting a lot of snow tonight, maybe a light dusting for your morning commute. Live in Muncie, I'm Chelsea Smith.
Thanks, Chelsea, for that. And like I mentioned, we will be getting warmer temperatures eventually, but for right now, we do have to deal with the cooler temperatures. And overall, this will be around for the next few days, but I'll have the details coming up in my full forecast later on in this newscast.
Coming up, Trump's new travel ban is set to take place. Find out what revisions the president made.
And some Muncie Community School members could be getting the boot. All this and more after the break.
Oh!
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. Today, Muncie Community Schools released the names of 8 school administrators who could lose their job next year. Superintendent Steve Ball announced at the February 28th board meeting that he had notified the administrators that they may not have their contracts renewed. The list was released today and includes 3 principals, 2 assistant principals, and 1 athletic director. The names given insight into which schools the school corporation might be closing in a, quote, worst-case scenario. Northview Elementary, Westview Elementary, and Northside Middle School are all schools with principals on the list.
Wooded Trail Systems in Delphi, Indiana are expecting changes after the deaths of 2 teenage girls. According to the Associated Press, Trail Safety Task Force member David McCain says the changes come from the community's desire to, quote, take back our trails. Delphi Historic Trails is planned to receive trailside cameras, police patrols, and signs with trail safety information. This is following the death of 14-year-old Liberty Gurman and 13-year-old Abigail Williams. Police are still searching for the killers of the girls who were found dead in a wooded area outside of Delphi on February 14th. A 5-kilometer run will be held on June 10th as a fundraiser for the changes planned for the trails.
A baby is safe in Ohio. His mother is dead and the father has been charged with murder. Police say James Ramey shot and killed 23-year-old Amanda Mangus before taking their son Winston.
The only words Mangus spoke before she died were, "Where's Winston?" That was enough to tip officers off that her child was missing and the boy's father was the suspect. They also determined Mengus's stepmother, who lived in the house, was also missing. Investigators used cell phone tracking and tips from people who had contact with Ramey to arrest him hours later. Both the infant and the stepmother were unharmed.
I don't know, they don't know if she went willingly to take care of the baby or, he forced her to come along to take care of the baby, but they said that they took my daughter to UTMC, where she passed away.
I'm so sorry.
And they said just a few minutes ago that they've got him in custody and that my wife and the grandson are fine. My stepson went to pick him up.
Ramey was arrested about 150 miles away in Indiana.
A Dunkirk City Court judge was sentenced Monday to a 1-year probation for shoving the Dunkirk police chief. The police chief that 62-year-old Judge Tommy Phillips II shoved is also his nephew. Phillips pled guilty to battery against a public safety official during his hearing last September. He has been sentenced to 100 hours of community service, which he will perform at the VA hospital in Marion. Phillips is also prohibited from contacting his nephew while on probation. J Superior Court Judge Max Lodi Jr. and J Circuit Court Judge Brian Hutchinson will preserve over the Dunkirk court for the time being. And a hearing today, U.S. General Robert Neller promised to prosecute the people who posted photographs of nude female Marines. The investigation, he continued, has encountered some roadblocks in identifying individual users. At the hearing, Senator Lindsey Graham asked Neller what the effect could be for the Marine Corps.
Every organization has dark moments. Do you agree with me this is one of the darkest moments and it needs to be fixed?
Yes, Senator.
Investigators are looking into about a dozen sites that the photos were posted to. Neller also called on Marines with information about the photos to come forward in the investigation.
In 2 days, President Donald Trump's newly revised travel ban will take effect. The new ban bans immigrants from Syria, Iran, Libya, Sudan, Somalia, and Yemen. It also bans Syrian refugees for 120 days instead of the indefinite ban of the first travel ban. Language making certain religious minorities a priority was also taken out. Green card and visa holders will also be allowed into the country under the new ban. Federal courts in Maryland and Hawaii will hear cases against the travel ban tomorrow. Now, Alex, as we were saying earlier, the weather has been a little weird lately. We're only a week away from spring, but we're still seeing some of those blizzards.
That's right. The term March Madness usually just pertains to basketball, but this month it is certainly pertained to the weather. What can you tell us, Ethan?
You know, definitely this has been March Madness. You're 100% right. It can be related to basketball and even the weather. And really that's been the thing for these past few months. We've had to deal with 60s throughout January and February, and now we're in the 30s in March. Now, I will have the details with everything, warmer temperatures, still cool, and the weekend forecast coming up later on.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Sunny skies and snowfall is a strange combination. Ethan, what can you tell us about the weather?
All right, well, it is March, and for March, you would think temperatures would be a little bit warmer than they would be normally in January and February, but in our case, that's not the case at all. We've dealt with cool temperatures, snow, and they won't last for long, but they're around enough that it makes it a little bit annoying outside, especially for the beginning of March. Below average temperatures we've been dealing with this past week, but spring, like I mentioned, is officially coming next week, and hopefully that'll bring warmer temperatures along with it, at least for the weekend and beginning of next week. That is the case. Right now it's 22 degrees here in Muncie, 23 in Minneapolis, 26 in Kansas City. But if you go out west to Las Vegas, it is a very nice 85 degrees there, which is average for there this time of year. And then temperatures all around the state, they're very similar. 22 in Muncie and in Kokomo, 23 in Indianapolis, 24 in Terre Haute. And then if you were to go out west into Champaign, Illinois, it is 23 degrees there. So temperatures are similar all across the board. And the wind chill, that's what it's been like all day. 10 degrees it feels like right now here. Kokomo 9 degrees, Indy at 11 degrees, and it's also 9 degrees in Champaign. The winds, they're not even that high, but because of them, that's why it's cooler outside. Now here's a look at radar. You have this band of lake effect snow that even is hitting into northwest Indiana, and those are going to be the snow showers that are going to be very hit and miss here tonight and even into early tomorrow. And then you'll be able to see over here, based on this low pressure system, that is why New York and New England overall, they have been dealing with blizzard-like conditions. And unfortunately for them, they've had to deal with over a foot of snow and all stuff like that. It's been great for them, but here we do not have to deal with that, luckily. We have to deal with high pressure, and overall that's going to just bring out a little bit of rain, but overall that's about it. Cooler temperatures tonight, 15 for a low, and then tomorrow 30 for a high, but with the winds it's going to feel a lot cooler outside. 5 degrees tonight for a wind chill, and then tomorrow if you're going to class early in the morning, very chilly, 4 degrees with the wind chill. And like I said, this is not like March at all. Here's the futurecast. We will have to deal with that band of lake effect snow, but like I said, it's going to be hit or miss overall, and no returns of accumulation as well from that. For tonight, 15 degrees, on and off flurries, and cold. Northwest wind, 15 to 20 miles an hour. And then for tomorrow, 30 degrees, early morning snow and gusty winds, so if you will be outside, be sure to bundle up, but starting tomorrow, it will be getting warmer, and you'll be able to see that here on the 7-day forecast. 30 for tomorrow, and then Thursday and Friday, warmer temperatures will be coming around, and then on Monday and Tuesday, temperatures will be getting into the 50s, which is closer to normal for this time of year, unlike what we've been dealing with right now.
Yes, thank you so much, Ethan.
Absolutely.
Now, Peter, what do we have in sports?
Well, it's an exciting time of year to be a college basketball fan, right? March Madness starting this week. Obviously, the men's basketball NCAA tournament starting tonight, but some other postseason tournaments set to begin later this week. And wait until you hear who the women's basketball team at Ball State is set to play in the first round of the WNIT. We've got ourselves a doozy. Plus, we hear from the head coach of the football Cardinals as they gear up for spring ball. That's ahead next in sports.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Hey, evening everybody. Well, at this time yesterday, we knew Ball State women's basketball would be playing in their 5th straight WNIT. What we didn't know was who they would be playing and when. Fast forward 24 hours, and we've got a juicy matchup on our hands. It was announced yesterday that Brady Saleh's team will play the Indiana Hoosiers in the first round of the tournament. IU narrowly missed the NCAA tournament after going 10-6 in the Big Ten. Ball State head coach Brady Saleh downplayed the significance of the in-state storyline today at practice, saying it didn't really matter to him. He's just focused on trying to win the game on Thursday.
We've been trying to play IU, and so now, they tell us we have to, so that's what we're going to go do, and hopefully it will materialize in maybe playing them a little bit more down the road here, but right now our focus is on getting ready for a good basketball team, and all that other stuff is good for you guys to write about and gives you a little bit of something to run with, but when that ball goes up, man, you better be ready to guard Tyra Buss and Manny Cahill. I know that.
Yeah, Saleh not exactly buying into all the in-state hype, but certainly excited for the matchup. Meanwhile, the men are getting set to play a postseason game against another in-state rival. Cardinals will play Fort Wayne in the first round of the CIT tomorrow. After missing out on the NCAA tournament, head coach James Whitford said today that there was some hesitation to play in the CIT, but ultimately the Cardinals, who do return the bulk of their roster next year, accepted the bid with the future in mind.
From my standpoint, what I said to the team is, from this point on, it's about us getting our ultimate goals are to go to the NCAA tournament and win a conference title, which neither of those could happen this year. But I do view a tournament like this as being a vehicle that we can use to help us accomplish those.
It's going to be very exciting. We didn't beat an in-state school all year, so hopefully we get our first win tomorrow.
I don't think the in-state thing is a motivational thing as much as I think the fact that they're a really good team. There's no convincing our guys that they're good. They're really good. We know that. They've won 105 games in 5 years. And so they're, the most accomplished mid-major program in the state to me in the last 5 years, behind probably Valparaiso.
Quite the endorsement from head coach James Whitford on the opponent tomorrow. Finally, Ball State football is just 2 days away. Make that 1 day away from opening up spring practice. The Cardinals will hold the first of 15 practices bright and early on Thursday. NewsLink Indiana spoke with second-year head coach Mike Newt today, and you could certainly feel the excitement from him. He's ready to get back on the field and correct some of the mistakes that were made in his first go-around.
From year 1 to year 2, when you're a head coach and when you're new to a program and coming in for the first time, man, you finally got a year's worth of tape. You can look and self-scout yourself and go, okay, we just need to clean this up and we'll be much better. So I'm excited to make corrections on our end as a coaching staff with our guys, and I know the confidence level will be there, and I know our guys are excited and they can see it on the tape when they watch it for themselves.
So Cardinals coming off of a disappointing year last year, obviously going 4-8, but a lot of excitement, a lot of optimism going into year number 2 for head coach Mike Newt.
Yes, thank you so much, Peter. Coming up, find out what popular TV show is being turned into a movie.
And find out what famous singer will be coming our way. Your entertainment news is next.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hey, I'm Robert Segovia with your entertainment news. The AMC show Breaking Bad has been turned into a movie. Filmmakers Lucas Stoll and Gaylor Morstein edited a 2-hour version of the popular tale following a high school chemistry teacher turned drug kingpin. The fan film highlights the memorable moments of the show and can be found on Vimeo. The series ran a total of 5 seasons starring duo Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul. It has won 110 of 262 nominations and entered the Guinness World Records as the most critically acclaimed show of all time. Ed Sheeran is the latest example of music streaming revolution. His latest album, Divide, is a global smash hit and now holds the Spotify record for the most streams in 1 week, hitting an astounding 375 million. On the British charts, Sheeran had 9 songs in the top 10 and the entire album in the top 20. This was helped by a rule change where 100 streams equal 1 album sale. Here in America, 322,000 copies were purchased, 29% of which were physical CDs. In Ball State Entertainment, Chase Bryant will headline the 3rd annual Chirpies. The award show highlights the student athletes and will include female and male athletes of the year, coach of the year, and the comeback award. Chase Bryant is an artist to watch, cracking the top 10 with the hit song Take It Back, earning him over 3 million views on YouTube. Student tickets are free at the Emmons box office with a student ID. Distribution begins Friday, March 17th. From 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., students who pick up tickets will receive priority seating and a Chirpies prize pack. The public may get up to 4 free tickets after 10 a.m. That's all for your entertainment news. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you very much, Robert. Let's have one final look at weather. Ethan?
Temperatures overall, they're going to be a little bit cooler for the next 2 days, but 30 degrees tomorrow with a little bit of morning snow tomorrow, and then beginning Thursday, temperatures are going to begin getting warmer, and that'll go into next week.
Thank you, Ethan. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.